the G36 like they used to, and I guess it kind of makes sense. That gun is still really good, but this gun did not need a buff. Let's just be honest here, because, like, yeah, what am I even supposed to, like, say about this gun, bro? Sir, I want to hit you for the intro. Thank you. Subscribe to my channel. Hold on. Yes, dude! So hello gamers and welcome back to another video. Now, Phantom Forces are very well known for complaining about guns in the game. And recently I made a community post asking people what their most hated guns are, and today I'm going to be counting down the top 10 that I got from that community post, as well as my own personal experience from the game as overranked 200. So make sure to watch until the end and like and subscribe. If you're new, subscribe. Only like 10% of you guys are subscribed or something like that. And try to guess which one will be number one, because it might not be what you think it is, and it's definitely one that is really interesting and I did not expect. But coming out at number 10, we have a shotgun, the AA-12. And this is crazy because, yes, this gun is actually not very hated anymore, and I did not expect that. I expected this to be number one, and the list has changed quite a bit since I last kind of did this list. The AA-12 is still a hated gun, of course, because it's an auto 20-round shotgun, but because it's been nerfed so many times and people realize that it's really not the best shotgun in the game anymore, it has kind of fallen off quite a bit. In fact, like, it might be the worst shotgun in the entire game. Like, before, people said it was the worst shotgun in the game, but of course the automatic really bumped it up quite a bit, but now it really is just kind of weak. Like, before it was weak, but it had flechette, it had better spread, it had better damage over range. Like, it's still gonna be an amazing gun, as you can probably tell, but like, it isn't really the best shotgun in the game anymore at all. Even with the automatic, it really isn't that great. That guy got tagged by somebody else, okay? It does not kill in this few shots. I'm just getting really bad examples here, but it is still a really hated gun, of course, because of many reasons. It's just an auto shotgun. That's actually the only reason. What other reasons would there need to be? Like, it has 20 rounds and it's an auto shotgun. So I guess that's two reasons, but it doesn't really matter because even if this gun didn't have a drum mag, it would still be really hated, just probably less hated. And I have some decent experience with this gun. I used to use it on Bazaar a little bit. I only have a couple hundred kills on it, so I'm not like a crazy user of this gun. Don't look at the 543, okay? I have 2,000 kills on the DT11, okay? It's not even close. But at number 9, we have a gun that I did not expect to actually put on this list, but it's actually kind of making a lot of sense to me now, because this gun can be very annoying to fight against, and I've seen a lot of console players going crazy with it. I think it's the increased hitboxes on console that makes this gun just amazing. If you're a console player, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this gun. But it's the Mark 11, but not the default one, the 500 Phantom one. And the reason this makes a lot of sense is because this gun can one-shot torso up to 65 studs, farther than some of the bolt-action sniper rifles, but it has 10 rounds and a really high rate of fire, so it can one-tap to the body with this. Muzzle velocity is pretty slow, though, and this gun is amazing. Like, I don't even have to try to talk about, oh, it has slow muzzle velocity. This gun is just amazing, and I think the reason people hate it so much is because on console, with the bigger hitboxes, you can really just take advantage of this gun's torso kill by just spamming the absolute mother of Jonesy out of this thing, because it can one-shot to almost 70 studs, one hit kill head, all ranges, and it's got 10 rounds. And the thing is, bolt action sniper rifles on console are going to be pretty difficult to really use, even with the larger hitboxes. But this gun, on the other hand, yeah, sure, it's got a little bit of drop, but in close range, it is going to be like the old slug shotguns, but probably better in a lot of ways. Like a way better, more consistent one-shot all ranges, no spread to it. It's just an amazing gun. From that range, yes, it's still going to almost one hit. I think that guy was a little bit tagged up, but to the body, it can kill to almost that range. Like 65 studs is not super far, but it is not even close to that. Like there, yeah, that was a one-shot as well. Crazy gun, probably didn't deserve to get a buff that was this big. I think it made sense that I got a little buff for, because it only had a 30 stud one hit kill range, which was really not too bad, but 30 studs didn't really make this gun like super viable. But then at the number 8 spot, we have, of course, the NTW, and this is very surprising as well. I thought this one would go way higher, but I think just because this gun is so annoying to use and not that many people really like to use it, it's super expensive, and it's really just not a very powerful overall gun. Like, yes, technically on paper it is the most powerful gun in the entire game, however, it's just annoying to use. You kind of need Obrez barrel to really make it any fun to use, and if you don't have Obrez barrel, it's just kind of a really freaking slow BFG. And of course, it can one hit kill anywhere on the body with a single round, you know, from any range, which sounds really good, but that's only with the one bullet conversion, which is super freaking slow. Feels terrible to use. Like, it's a fun gun, and honestly, it's considered a lot like a meme gun now. It's really interesting, since when it first came out, it was is just so controversial, but I mean, I am very good at hip firing this gun. I don't even have Obres barrel, so like literally I can't aim here. Oh, he died. But it doesn't matter because I don't need to aim with this gun because I can just walk around and hip fire people. But at the number 7 spot, we have a DMR, the SL8, and this is crazy because people don't hate this gun for the reason you might expect. This gun is really powerful, but nobody uses it, and people really hate it, and the reason is it feels like a pea shooter without the marksman barrel, and the fire rate can be kind of annoying to use, and if you actually look at it statistically, this gun is amazing. Like, this gun is so broken. But I've seen so much hate for this gun in the past, and especially without the marksman barrel. But the marksman barrel makes it so much better. I hate this gun without the marksman barrel too. Well, not hate. Hate's a little bit too strong for it. I'm not really a huge fan of it without the marksman barrel. I found out it was pretty good in a video a long time ago. But without the marksman barrel, it really just doesn't have as good damage, range, or velocity. And with the marksman barrel, all of the stats go up by a lot. Most importantly, the multipliers go up by a ton. It makes the gun able to 3-hit pretty consistently almost all ranges, and even all ranges if you're hitting like a headshot. At the number 6 spot, we actually get the HK416, and I can kind of see this spot on the list now too. So it's one of the ones that I was like, okay, it makes sense. I knew it was going on the list. I thought maybe it could go a little bit higher, but looking back, yeah, it makes a lot of sense because the 300 conversion and the hollow point conversion was what made this good, and both of those are still in this gun, but they function completely differently and arguably way worse. Actually, not arguably, just way worse. And that makes this gun still a really, really good option. A great gun overall. I'm not a huge fan of it overall, but I do think it makes a lot of sense why it's popular. I think it really does. It has a really fun reload animation. It sounds powerful. It's a really honestly solid gun. Reload time isn't the best for like an M4 variant, but since they nerfed all the M4 variant reload times overall, that makes this actually still a really solid reload time. My favorite reload animation in the entire game. I really like the reload, and it shoots really fast. It sounds good overall. Honestly, a really solid gun. We've nerfed it a few times, and it makes sense because this gun was honestly a little bit too good. Not even just with the conversions it had, and I think the damage nerf they did to it with the ranges and everything makes complete sense. The gun is really good still. But then at the number 5 spot, we got the USAS. Now, the USAS is pretty interesting because a lot of people in the comments, and this is why this is only in the 5th spot, a lot of the people in the comments were actually pretty nice about it. Like, even though it's kind of just a more annoying AA-12 in a lot of people's opinion, a lot of the people were like, it's actually really not too bad to fight against now, which makes no sense because it's better than it's ever been before, you know? Like, when it came out, it was actually worse than it is, and then they buffed it and made it do a lot more damage, and still, it is honestly not that bad to fight, except it actually is, and I think people forgot, because honestly, I'm still kind of a hater of this gun. I think that the buff to it was stupid because the gun was honestly not that great, but still really annoying to fight, and then they made it actually pretty freaking solid. Basically what they did is they made the recoil better, which is dumb because it's an auto shotgun. It should have pretty high recoil, and now it's actually super accurate. Like, I'm running a suppressor and it really doesn't matter. And secondly, they increased the damage by 1, and you're probably like, what? They increased the damage by 1? That's not a lot, right? But before, in close range, it took 6 out of 8 pellets to kill, and now it only takes 5. So basically the gun is way more consistent, which is why 1 damage point in this case is really important. It's like if a gun had 24 damage and it was a 5 hit, and then it got 1 more up to 25, and then it was a 4 hit. Like, that 1 point of damage, we've seen this on some of the assault rifles in this game over range. When they go down from 25 to 24, they become a lot less viable and even fall out of the meta entirely. Like, for example, the G36, that 1 point of damage made it, like, honestly really hated. Like, people don't use the G36 like they used to, and I guess it kind of makes sense. That gun is still really good, but this gun did not need a buff. Let's just be honest here, because, like, yeah, what am I even supposed to, like, say about this gun, bro? And the fact that this is only number 5, and honestly people were like defending this gun in the comments and saying that they don't even use it but they think it's pretty good to fight against is crazy to me. I think like they're gaslighting themselves into thinking that this is a balanced gun because it's really not, but people don't use it like they used to, so maybe that's why. I don't know. At number 4, we have the Honey Badger, and this is another one that I think honestly doesn't really deserve the hate that it gets. You know, this gun is just not my favorite gun in the game, and it is really, really good. Don't get me wrong, the damage is not great, but the fire rate is pretty decent. The reload time is amazing. It sounds pretty good. The initial kick is really bad, but like other than that, it's pretty accurate. It is a really good gun overall, great for getting feeds and everything. One of the best carbines in the game, probably top 5. I think I put it in the top 5. Go watch my top 5 carbines if you haven't though. This gun is super solid, super great. It does what it does really well. It is really good though, and I can see why it is hated with the people that play with it. But if you're a sweat, I do recommend HK416 over this gun. I think this gun is just kind of really doesn't do anything I like that much. Yeah, it's integrally suppressed, but other than that, it feels really freaking generic. HK416 is carried by its 50 extra RPM and the fact that it has an amazing reload. Not in terms of reload time, although the reload time is perfectly acceptable and very good. I think the biggest thing is really just the reload animation makes that gun really fun for me, and the sound effect. This gun has a cool sound effect as well, but honestly, just not my favorite gun. I don't really like it that much, but if you like it, that's completely fine with me as well. Now, at the number 3 spot, we have a gun that I was sure was going number 1. A lot of people hate on it. It's the HK21. I still think that this gun is a menace to society, but the reason this gun is still broken is that it has as much fire rate as a honey badger, but does significantly, I'm talking 5 more damage with the torso multi, so it actually does 42 damage, so it can 3-hit kill up to about 100 studs with torso shots probably, as well as probably an 80 stud 2-hit kill head range, and it's got crazy recoil, but when it comes to close to somewhat medium range, this gun is annoying to fight against. I will not lie to you. Dunes is definitely the worst map I could ever show this gun off to you guys on, but of course even there, like, I could just kind of shoot at their general direction because the recoil is basically like firing a shotgun. That feels a little bit like using a shotgun, you know? I was not trying to control the recoil at all, and as you could see in that, it kind of just goes all over the place, so you can't really control it at all. It just keeps going around and everything. What is this setup, dude? Super annoying gun to fight, of course, and it's got 100 rounds, so if you ever run into a guy using this gun in your lobby, you will definitely start to get a little bit angry. Wow. But at number 2, we have a gun that I was actually pretty surprised was so hated in the comments. That's the M16A3, and I can kind of understand why this one is so hated because everybody has a few thousand kills on it. If you're a high rank, you have a bunch of kills on the M16A3, especially if you got those kills in 2021. I got all my kills on it in probably mid-2020, but that wasn't actually like the super meta of this gun. It was still a really popular gun at the time. When it hit critical mass, though, was when 223 extended mag was in the game, so you could get a 40-round magazine with this gun. It would be a 6-hit kill over range, but the recoil became like basically non-existent camera-wise, and that made this gun just super annoying, even though it wasn't really like the best way overall to run the gun, kind of, but they did make the recoil kind of like, I don't even know what they did to this gun. It received so many changes. Like, they buffed the gun after it was super popular when they removed 223 extended mag, and then they realized, oh my gosh, this just makes the gun really freaking popular again and really broken because like you don't even need 223 for it to be accurate. I've always said the M16A3 is like the vanilla ice cream of guns, and I like vanilla ice cream, but everybody likes vanilla ice cream. Maybe it's like the chocolate ice cream of guns. But people say vanilla ice cream is bland. I do not agree with that. I think chocolate ice cream is kind of bad. Like, I don't think it's that bad, but like it is, I don't know. I get sick of it so fast. I cannot handle chocolate. It's just like way too sweet. And also Hershey's chocolate is terrible because the preservatives in it taste like human bile. I mean, I don't know how that tastes, but I'm just gonna say it probably tastes like that. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, now we're on to the number 1 spot, which is actually the BFG. The reason that this is surprising is because I didn't know that people still hated this gun. I thought this was still 100% the gun that everybody said was bad, and I thought it was a meme gun. Like, I didn't know that people hated it. But I made the poll, and the most people voted on that, the most comments were about the BFG. Everybody was hating on this gun, which I think is pretty sad because I like this gun. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually a really fun gun. I use it with the slowest aiming speed setup in the entire game, which is really fun because you can do that. And I'm surprised the Hecate wasn't really talked about at all. I think that gun's probably more annoying. Like the BFG, of course, the sound effect is probably burned into your brain if you're a PF player, and you probably remember dying to it all the time, but okay. I just don't think that it really deserves as much hate as it gets anymore because all the other sniper rifles are just kind of better. Oh my gosh, this guy is so annoying. If I have to go out of my way to kill this one guy in particular, I think I have to. Hold on. You're dead, bro. Like, he was using Malcolm 3x Hecate. Like, come on, bro. Okay, I can see why this guy's good. Hecate I have like 600 kills on, but the BFG I have over 1,000, and that's because I like it a lot, and I used it when I had all the other snipers, but I just preferred it because it was funny, and the Hecate is obviously better because it has 8 rounds. So I'm not entirely sure why people don't hate on the Hecate as much, because I do think that this is one of the best sniper rifles in the game and one of the most annoying sniper rifles in the game because it has 10 studs of pen, 3k velocity. But if this was my list, I would probably put the Hecate on the list and not the BFG, but this is the community's list. I asked the community and that's what they said, and I'm honestly kind of surprised. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, but I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day. Sir, I want to hit you for the intro. Thank you. Subscribe to my channel. Hold on. Yes, dude.